All right, hey everybody. This is the very first episode ever of the Vitamin E Show. So this is intended to provide some good information for you guys. Submit questions via Facebook. We'll do a lot more polls in our group that we have there, and also just maybe email us or text us. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just come by if you have anything. We'll try to address it. We got some questions prepared that we're gonna kind of go with today that we've been asked. So. The more questions you can submit, the more the more we'll be able to provide the better content that you're looking for. So, just kind of keep us posted on that, and we'll break it down. We'll talk about anything and everything you guys are interested in. So, being January, all the New Year's resolution or something that I'm going to do. So next week we talked about it. I posted it in the group. Everyone was very interested in like a 30-day log of what I eat. So what I thought, you can tell me your thoughts on it. I think we'll start off with the week. So next week, every day in the Facebook group exclusively, so nowhere else. I have to go to our closed group to find it. I'll basically detail everything I eat for the day, and along with I plan to take some videos of anything I find that beneficial, like tips, tricks while I'm meal prepping perhaps, or whatever, kind of show people what I'm doing along with those actual log. I thought we might turn it into some type of challenge with members who'd like to participate, and also maybe post pictures of every meal in the group or something like that for next week. What do you think?
Definitely. I mean, I like the idea of keeping track of everything and getting everybody else going on the same page there.
Yeah.
A lot of times it starts with being aware of what it is you're taking in your body. Maybe not necessarily ready to make a whole lot of big changes. It's just, logging it down, writing it down, taking pictures so that you can go back and look like, man, I really did that.
And also, yeah, sometimes people, they don't understand, they're not really being real with themselves about what they're actually eating. And you actually write everything down, track that, and you actually have something to look at. I had a client I worked with all the time, couldn't figure out why we couldn't drop weight. And I finally got a food log from them, and it was like barbecue sauce and everything. Well, that's not going to work. It's tons of sugar. But it was nothing. Like this person didn't think anything about that. Didn't think there was much that mattered that much. And sometimes it doesn't. But if we're stuck, that's the only way we're going to know. Is if we know exactly what we're doing, so we can change something. So I think it'd be helpful, especially the time of the year. A lot of people trying to probably start some type of diet. I more want to create knowledge around how to just do that as a healthy lifestyle every day, not necessarily a diet like you know all about. I mean, I'm doing keto right now, and that's a very strict diet. But the point is, I've been doing this for a long time. I know how to just eat to maintain, and to if I want to add a little muscle, drop a little fat. I've been doing this so long, I know how to tweak my diet just a little bit without having to get too in depth with it. But a lot of people think they have to go on some strict, regimented, don't eat this type of diet, and I do that sometimes. That's what the keto diet is. However, I only do cycles of that kind of stuff, and then when I come off of those things, I go right back to just my normal healthy eating lifestyle. So I'm thinking that maybe this will help people more understand that perhaps. First of all, everyone's not perfect, and even the people like us, just yesterday morning I came up here and did a workout and have time to eat, so I stopped at Jack's and got fried eggs. Side of eggs and scrambled and side of sausage, fats and protein. Not the best quality possible, but if it's a keto diet and it's wasn't that bad, and it's something to do all the time, is you need to get those meals in. And I think people sometimes undervalue just how easy it is. I think it's just too much information about it being too complicated out there. I was just this morning doing that nutrition session this morning with Catherine. Everything doesn't have to be super complicated. So and I think we got to a good spot there. So I don't know. Trying to simplify everything. Just kind of show that it's doable for a regular person, everyday life.
For sure, and it's easy to once you're keeping a log of everything and able to see and look back on what you did, and then look at the results that you get from that, it's a little bit easier to understand how your nutrition is going to affect you. If you can look, you've got 3 weeks full of workout or full of nutrition logs there. You can look and see, okay, well, how were my results this week? Did I go up? Did I go down? Right? If I don't like the results, I know there's something that I need to adjust, maybe pick one thing out of that week and change that for the next one. there,
Right.
kind of look and see, hey, like what happened this week? All right, I'm moving in the right direction. Hang on to that. And let's kind of work on a different area there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just like the breakfast. That when we talked about the breakfast, just that changing that one meal for 90% of people will make all the difference in the world. Just for someone getting started brand new, or falling off, and if you have 20 plus pounds of body fat to lose, let's just say that if you have 20 plus pounds of body fat to lose, then just breakfast would change the overall effectiveness that you feel of. I mean, it's just it's so vital stuff of your day for that fat burn state. But anyway, so we're gonna do that. So that will be exclusively in the Facebook group, guys. You have to be a member there. So if you're not, either call, email. We can invite you if we're friends on Facebook, which we've invited most of you guys if we're personally friends on Facebook. But if we're not, we'll need your Facebook email address, and we can send you that, or simply add us on Facebook, and we'll kind of assume we'll know that you want to be added to the group, so we'll add you to the group. Otherwise, stop by when you're in the club, and we'll get you added. That way you can see, and if you want to kind of jump in on that challenge that we're going to do, and you want to post the pictures of your food, kind of get a little group challenge going, just let us know. We'll get you added there. It is a closed group, so you won't be able to just join. You'll have to. Can you knock to join? Can't you get a request, or do we have to invite?
Once you can go on there and click join, and it'll send us notifications.
Okay.
So we'll check you out and get you added on there.
Then forget everything I just said. Just go to the thing and request to join, and we'll add you in there. So something else that's been bugging me a lot. I've heard 3 conversations about lately. Overtraining, right? And people talking about being scared to overtrain. Newsflash, you're probably in no danger of overtraining. Yes, overtraining is a thing. It is very possible to overtrain. You know that. I know that. But let's talk about what overtraining actually is, the ways that might happen, and how to prevent it, and also when you should be worrying about it. So I can tell you this: if you're doing legs and you can still walk, you have not overtrained. People think they hit muscle failure and that's it. Well, there's all types of different instances where muscle failure happens. It can be just such a sick pump, so your muscles are so full of nitric oxide you can't rep out another one. Like, that's not muscle failure though. That's just pump. Muscle failure is when you physically cannot move that anymore. And most people don't actually hit that, I don't think. I mean, I think people mostly just kind of hit an exhausted, out of stamina, not really muscle failure.
More so, I don't think people understand necessarily, how far they are able to push themselves, and I feel like no one's willing to really test it either.
I mean, I don't think it excites anyone. Like, hey, let's go kill myself in the gym.
Exactly.
So let's talk about a little bit when you might be in danger. So even if your workout is half-assed and you're not really killing it, there is a certain time point. It's debatable. Lots of research that shows different times, but what I've seen, it's based off personal workouts, working with hundreds of clients over the time I've been doing this, and just observing people in the gym. Generally anything much longer than an hour and a half, 2 hour mark. Even as long as you're training just somewhat at a decent intensity level, it's gonna start getting to that catabolic state after that point. Unless you're supplementing with like some BCAAs, or if you're not a natural athlete, the rules are different. So just for the normal person working out, 2 hours would be a bit long. I mean, you don't need that by any means. We could accomplish everything you can in 2 hours and 30 minutes with proper protocol. So it doesn't need to take that long, but if you just have this thing and you want to work out that long, I would say no longer than 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes max, really. For the more, people that lift a lot more, a lot better shape, already have decent muscle mass. Overtraining is definitely possible, but again, most of those guys really aren't training as hard, or women aren't training as hard as they actually should be most of the time. So again, that muscle failure is usually a pump failure than that actually is a neurological muscle failure. For those people, I would say just listen to your body. You kind of know kind of know when you get to that point where it's just I'm out of gas. And again, you can supplement with BCAAs, and that will kind of prevent your body from shifting to that catabolic state. But that's, again, debatable, and also depends on how quality of the product you're using. So lots of variables there. So I don't really like variables. So I try to keep my workouts to about an hour and a half. Good pace, not too much rest. If you can text and post on Facebook in the middle of your workout, then you're not keeping a good pace.
And it really doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, I do my workouts on my break, get an hour for a lunch break, scarf down food 5 minutes afterwards there, and that's all it really takes to continue a very, very, very good workout plan and get some good results, whether it's for my hypertrophy stage or just sports specific like strength building stages. I'm able to get everything that I need within that hour there, doing the proper exercises and just following the proper program there.
Yeah, I mean we talked some about tempo. I mean the importance of that too, with the effect of how intense your workout's going to be, or the effects, the benefits of your workout are going to be. So just for example, with bench press, let's just go with bench press because most guys are familiar with that. Chest responds best to higher rep ranges for hypertrophy. Okay, and if you ask anyone in the gym, most people that are working out that type of bodybuilding workout, they want to get big, don't necessarily care about strength as much as they do size. And those are two different things. Now, one does correlate to the other for sure. If you're getting bigger, you're going to be building some amount of strength because you're still progressing your weight at those higher rep ranges. You're just not adding as much strength as you could if you focus solely on strength. And if you focus solely on strength, you still will add muscle size. It's just not going to be as much if you focus on hypertrophy. So it's all about what your real goal is, what you really want to do. That would determine the type of advice I would give you. But for hypertrophy, for size, chest responds best to higher rep ranges. So I would never do less than like 12, 15 reps for hypertrophy on chest. And if you were to do a bench press and do like a 3-0-2-0 tempo. So that would be 3 seconds down, no pause at the bottom, right back up, 2 seconds up, no pause at the top, right back down for 3 seconds. So that's a 5-second rep. And if you did 15 sets of that, 15 reps of that, that's 30, 60, 85 seconds? 75 seconds. 75 seconds a set. So like minimal effective dose for hypertrophy is 90 seconds of tension. So you're almost there in one set, and you would have an ungodly pump after 4 or 5 sets of that. And you're not going to be able to throw around a tremendous amount of weight on the bar doing that. You're not going to be able to do a 5-second tempo with 15 reps with 225 on the bar unless you're already on that level. It's possible. Like you can make that happen if you work up to that, but for most people that is so unrealistic. Just putting 225 on the bar to rep it out. I can do so much more weight if I'm just bouncing the bar off my chest and going to get it. That's not how you grow. That's not how you advance. It's not safe. But
just to kind of touch on that personally, I've been doing after completing my hypertrophy stage there. I used to always think, it's all about can I throw up, how many times can I throw 225 up, or what's my bench max? And I know that I can hit a lot of weight. I was able to hit at least 280, 285-ish. But during that entire stage, I was barely able to work with anything more than 135 on the bar, following the proper tempo. And even at that, by the 10th rep, I'm struggling and feeling bad. Like, man, what am I doing? But I got a lot better results, and at the end of it, that's the best type of results that I've been able to get out of any program that I've been able to do. So
yeah, tempo matters, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you're properly training, you don't have time for all that other shit because you got to keep track of your reps, you got to keep track of your sets, you got to keep track of your weight, you got to keep track of your tempo. I don't know how about you, but it's hard as shit to count to 15 while counting to 5 in my head on every rep, So it's not like, it's something if you're training on that level.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, just to be clear, we're addressing very, very high level training. I wouldn't say high level training, but more advanced training than what you would need if you're just coming in here and looking to lose weight. We're more talking about hypertrophy, size building at the moment. So please don't be overwhelmed if that's not your goal. But if it is your goal, I mean, you know, you got to do what it takes, and what it takes is very specific training. So whether you need to, you know, talk with somebody, let somebody help you out, or, you know, get a stopwatch. I like, you know, I use my watch, but I mean, it's, you know, it's really hard to keep that tempo and count reps and everything. So workout partner helps me a lot. Keep you on track too when you start wanting to cheat. You know, someone there watching you, making sure you keep that you know, time on there. Also rest. You know, I think people take more rest. Rest in 2-3 minutes between sets when you really need to be sitting it around. You know, generally, if it's hypertrophy, I mean, minute and a half max, unless you're doing you know, big like mega sets. You know, if you're going to do like push, a pull, and a fly, and then rest, you can do it longer on that, maybe like 180 seconds, something like that. But if you're just doing one set or a superset, probably a minute and a half. Most, you know, people rest for too long. And they're not timing their rest because they think they know, and they're not timing
I would say when you hit that stopwatch and time your rest, that minute's going to go a lot faster than you hit.
For sure.
I get a couple breaths in, and oh, I got to go back under it already.
No, that's how you ought to feel. If you don't feel that way, you're not working hard enough, and that's how you would ever be in danger of overtraining. If you train like that, at that tempo, for that pace, longer than about an hour, you're going to be in danger of overtraining. And that would be like the only time that I can think of really realistically that's going to happen. Besides someone spending just hours and hours and hours. So.
A good way to kind of keep track of that also, if you're working with a partner, kind of thinking back on the football days, we would work out in maybe like a group of 3, and coach had a rule that bar never needs to get cold. So someone needs to always be touching the weight there.
That's
and
true.
if you're once your partner gets off the bench or sets down that weight, you should be picking it back up. It's generally going to be about that minute rest time. Like you said, if you're following that proper tempo, you're sitting at about 75 seconds. That's you got a little extra 15 seconds to rest. So hop on and get to it. So.
Yep. Well, that's about all we got time for today, so we're gonna wrap it up. But you know, hope you guys enjoyed this type of interaction here, and if you like it, you want to submit questions, just like I said, hit us up on Facebook. You can use Instagram. It's AF Trustful on Instagram. Anytime Fitness Trustful on Facebook. You can use hashtags for vitamin E or AF Trustful on both, and we'll find it. We'll put it in there. Also message us directly, whatever. But anything else, man?
No, I think that's it for today.
All right. Well, see you guys next week. Have a good one.